Hello everyone, this is Nitpicking Nerd, and today I want to review the trailers for the new seasons of Star Trek Discovery, Picard and Lower Decks, and I might split it to different videos depending on the length of it, so just in short I'll say the only one I'm actually optimistic about is Lower Decks. That's the only show I actually enjoyed from all the recent Star Trek shows. Picard I thought had a lot of potential, but it was mostly disappointing except for a few good scenes, one good episode and some good moments, but overall it felt really disappointing and it really felt cheap even visually, and it was just so wrong in so many ways, and so that's the most scary for me, that they might mess it up, even though the trailer does show something that can be very good if it's done right. And the one I'm least optimistic about is Star Trek Discovery, which just looks like more of the same, just more style over substance, a lot of cool scenes, a lot of cool visuals, but no indication of any actual story, which is interesting in any way, and so I'm very pessimistic about Star Trek Discovery, even though I thought that show was mostly improving with each season, meaning they kind of started dropping all the things that didn't work, like the Klingons didn't work, and they tried to fix them a little bit in season 2 and it didn't work, and so in season 3 they were completely missing and hopefully they'll stay missing, and they changed a lot of things about the show that did improve it a little bit, but I'm still very pessimistic about it, and nothing in the new trailer makes me think it will be a much better show, even though Discovery did have the occasional good episodes. I'm not hating everything about that show, but I don't have any high expectations from it, especially if it's the same producers and writers making it, then I have no hope for it. Star Trek Picard, I do hope that somehow miraculously it might turn out good, but because of season 1 I'm also kind of pessimistic, and the only show I'm pretty sure I will enjoy in season 2 is Lower Decks, because I did like most of season 1, even though it also had a bunch of annoying moments, and it's hard to even define it as an actual Star Trek show because it's more of a parody of a show, but it was pretty fun in a lot of places and it got a lot of things right. It's the only one of all of these shows that felt like it's actually paying attention to the details from the older shows, and so that's the one I enjoyed most from all the recent Star Trek, and even looking at all these trailers, I think it's the only one that actually I see things that I like in it. And the new trailer looks like we're getting more of the same kind of stuff. Poking fun at all the stuff from the older Star Trek shows in a good way, in my opinion. So it starts with Michael Tilly, who was the worst part of the previous season, and her first line is, "We're doing science fiction stuff today," which is annoying because why would they be referring to what they do as science fiction if it's actually happening? But I don't know the context of this joke, so maybe it will work, so I don't want to prejudge it. Next we see a classic starship design, and this is one of the things I love about the show, that even though it's a cartoon, it visually looks right in terms of how things should look in the Star Trek universe, and so that's one of the things I loved in this show. And next we see this creature, which is a creature from TOS. It's nice that they're revisiting a lot of things from the older Star Trek shows. And now we see Michael practicing the ultimate form of martial arts, which is something hilarious from TNG. And there was that one episode in season 2 when Riker and his father were training in those stupid costumes, and Riker's dad said it's the ultimate form of martial arts, and it always cracked me up because it all looks so stupid. So I love the fact that they're kind of taking all the silly stuff from Star Trek and poking fun at it in a fun way, in a loving way, which is really great in my opinion. So I always wanted to see that again. I wanted to see those silly costumes come back again, so I'm hoping it will be funny. Next we see the first officer, who apparently gained some kind of superpowers, which is common occurrence in Star Trek. You know, if you pass through the galactic barrier or something like that, it might give you superpowers and might turn you evil, so I'm guessing that's what happens with him. Then we see a shootout in some kind of reactor core. It looks like it's on a planet, so I'm guessing it's some kind of mining facility. And now I see 4 lights! And it looks exactly like the same torture room that the Cardassians were torturing Picard in, and Michael Till is beating them up, and she's dressed in like a training outfit, so I'm guessing this is all a holodeck simulation. It's not actually happening, but that will be another funny reference to a famous episode. So that's something that I have mixed feelings on, because on the one hand they have all these great references and visually it looks great, but then it's just a holodeck program. It's not really a part of any real story, and that's disappointing in my opinion. I would have much preferred it to be an actual story that has some kind of meaning in the end and not just a reference for the sake of it. So her being dressed in that outfit makes it look like it's just some kind of holodeck simulation, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she does end up there somehow while dressed like that, so maybe it will be real. Even though, would the Cardassians still be so militaristic if this is all taking place after the Dominion War? And presumably the Cardassians would not continue those practices, but who knows, maybe it's some kind of splinter group, so I guess we'll wait and see, but most likely it's a holodeck simulation, unfortunately. Now we see some kind of snake monster. And next we see Boimler on the Titan with Riker, and I really wish we'll see more characters from TNG and that era, that maybe they'll use the Titan and Riker to show off some more characters. That will be a great opportunity, so hopefully they'll do that. And Boimler doesn't seem to enjoy his time there, because the Titan is constantly being attacked by all kinds of aliens. It's not as relaxed as the Cerritos, I guess, and so he's not enjoying himself for some reason. So that's all we have for now, and it looks good, but as I explained, I wish it was an actual Star Trek show with actual new stories and actually developing this universe, and not just callbacks and references, and then it's all in a holodeck simulation with no consequences. That's a little bit cheap. An easy way to do all these jokes without any actual effort, without any actual story development. So that's the only thing I don't like about it, but I did like the visual style, I did like the attention to detail, and maybe they will surprise me by actually have it all mean something in the end and not just a self-parody, but actual progression of the bigger story in some way, so we'll wait and see. Now, in the new trailer for Star Trek Picard, it does seem like they are now paying attention to a lot of details which they didn't bother to do in Season 1, so now suddenly Picard's room looks like it's actually Picard's and not Patrick Stewart's, and so it is looking interesting, but it might just be Easter eggs and it will not have any purpose in the story at all, and so I'm very pessimistic about Picard. And maybe because the potential is there for something so great, that makes me even more worried, even more scared, because that will be such a huge disappointment if they mess it up. So that's it for now, and I'll make a separate review for Discovery and Picard, and especially Picard I'll probably have a lot of things to say and to theorize, so that will be its own video. So that's it for now, let me know what you think and we'll discuss it in the comments below, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.